Well, good afternoon. My name is Stewart Burger, and I'm assuming some of you have actually maybe met me or been to some of my events, but this is my 52nd year or anniversary at Iowa State University. Today we're going to try some Knoll Hot Chocolate. The Knoll Hot Chocolate was first made by Mrs. Parks, Ellen Parks, and we're going to go through that process today. As many of you know, the Knoll has been the center of entertainment at Iowa State going back to around the early 1900s, and all the presidents of Iowa State actually have lived at the Knoll, starting with the beer cheers up through the Wintersteins today. Mrs. Parks, one of her creations that she had that was quite famous, of course, is the reception hot chocolate, sometimes called Mrs. Parks's Hot Chocolate, and she served it at Christmas events. It was also served many times over at the Memorial Union. I actually had the privilege of actually trying it as a student at Iowa State, and they used to have an all-university Christmas event there, and they would have not only the students at Iowa State, but the faculty and people from the university community come. And they would serve it in the Great Hall, and it was done with what I would call great relish. It kind of is a formal tea, except they had hot chocolate, and they would line up and they would make it and put it in a cup and they would pour it. So that's when I first had it. So that's what we're going to do today, is have a recreation of her hot chocolate. We're going to start today with the first step. We have 3½ cups of just granulated sugar, 3½ cups or 2 pounds, 12 ounces. We have a nice Dutch chocolate, and any good dry Dutch chocolate would work. And we have 2 cups, and that'll be in the recipe that you get, so that's 16 ounces. And we're going to combine it with 2 cups of water on that together. I like a double boiler, which works well. I would not put it directly over fire because it will scorch. And we're going to reduce this to and cook it to approximately 218 to 220 in temperature. Takes a little time to cook. It's going to take approximately 30 minutes to 45 minutes under slow cooking. And by using a double boiler, then you won't scorch your chocolate. So in the recipe it says mix it together, do not stir, and just cook it slowly. So the first step I would put in is your sugar into the double boiler. Move them together and disperse your cocoa and your sugar together. So you can see it's nicely combined on there. We're going to put the water in now. Easily done. And now combine it. And so it's going to be a thin batter of water, cocoa, and sugar, and stir it till it's combined, and then you'll turn up the heat and watch it slowly. You can see it's nice and smooth. Everything is combined. Put your thermometer in there, and there's lots of different kinds of candy thermometers. We're going to use a metal one, but you can put those there, set it, put it down in the product, turn up your heat, and you do not need to touch it. It says in the recipe not to stir. I just watch it and wait till it gets up to the temperature, and it makes a very nice chocolate sauce. Our next step is that we've chilled the chocolate sauce. As you can see it here, it's nice and thick. It was in the refrigerator overnight, and it's turned into a nice chocolate sauce. We have taken 1 quart of whipped cream, heavy whipped cream, and we've beaten it. If you want to look, it's got into soft peaks. So we've got it in a nice soft, and we're going to combine the two into a lovely deep chocolate sauce. Just pour it over the top carefully, and then we're going to fold it in easily. So we take it all in there. So the next step is you just gently fold it over slowly, 1 spoon at a time, and you can see it slowly getting incorporated. Always go down to the bottom because you're going to have chocolate in the bottom. It's going to get darker and richer. And now I'll show you what it looks like when it's fully combined. And as you can see, it's rich and sweet, and I've actually had this in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes, so it's gotten perfect to combine with our milk. The next step is that we've scalded milk. We took 1 gallon of whole milk, and we put it in a double boiler. We raised it to about 190 degrees slightly, and to scald it, to get it hot to serving temperature. And now we're going to put, once it's hot, we're going to put in vanilla. And I recommended a good quality natural vanilla, not an artificial. And you can use Mexican or any style of vanilla you want, but a good quality natural vanilla, not artificial. Put it in at the end before it's heated, or after when it's heated, because then you don't lose your flavor. And we're going to put in 3 teaspoons, or you can put in 1 tablespoon and 1 teaspoon. It's the same amount. You got 1 tablespoon there. There's 1 tablespoon and 1 teaspoon. Nice and rich, and basically stir it in. And now the last step, we're going to combine it to make the chocolate. With the cup, we have a nice cup. On the side, you'll put about 1/3 of the chocolate in here. Try to get it in the very center. Since these are a little bigger cups than we would use at the Knoll, I'm going to put just a little bit more in, but about 1/3 of the chocolate in the center. And then we're going to fill it full of scalding milk and get it to about 3/4 of an inch to the top, so you have a little room to stir. And we're using a spoon here. You can be the second one to stir, and you just stir it back and forth until you get it combined, and you have a really nice hot chocolate.
Thank you.
Okay, great. Live audience here.
That's really good.
Yeah, it is. Well, thank you very much for joining us in the making of the Knoll Hot Chocolate. And it's an Iowa State tradition, and hopefully you'll be back next year for Winterfest and trying it either at Beard Chew or at the Knoll. Thank you for joining us.